My Little Pony is a popular television show with a large community, and with such a large community, there's bound to be disagreement. So today, I'm going to be sharing some of my most controversial opinions about the show in hopes to start an all-out Brony War. So let's start off with characters, specifically the main six. My least favorite main six character would have to be Rarity because she's just annoying and all she ever talks about is dresses. Like, please stop talking about dresses. Literally nobody or no pony cares. Grow up and actually get a life.
Says the 19-year-old guy making My Little Pony videos.
Oh, shut up, Kevin. I mean, she has some funny moments, and I do ship her with Spike, but seriously, I don't care about dresses. Now, for the best main six character, it would probably have to be Twilight, I think because I relate to her too much. In the beginning, she has no friends, she has OCD, she thinks she's the main character, she's really awkward, and she's a book nerd. That's literally the story of my life.
Oh, like the One Direction song?
Go away, Kevin! That is a good song, but as I was trying to say, it's the story of my life except for being a book nerd because I don't even remember the last time I read a book. I've been meaning to read all the My Little Pony comics since they're all free on the MLP-France website. I'm honestly not sure if this is legal, but I haven't gotten around to it since I've been so busy with Minecraft of all things. Gosh, I need to get a life. And the greatest character of all time is without a doubt Starlight Glimmer. This really doesn't need any further elaboration, but for all the Starlight haters out there, she's really powerful, she has a deep backstory, she's hot. Oops, who put that in the script? And she likes kites. A character I don't like is Zephyr Breeze, probably because he reminds me too much of myself since he doesn't have a job and he lives at his parents' house. I don't know why they make it such a big deal that he doesn't have a job when Fluttershy doesn't either. Actually, why don't Twilight and Rainbow Dash have jobs either? I guess they're just anti-capitalists that hate bits. Now, I don't typically like country music, but Brad Paisley has two really good songs, Beat This Summer and Last Time for Everything. They're just really great songs with a lot of real emotion. Okay, now on to Alicorn princesses. I'm not much of a fan of the princesses, but I'm also not a 5-year-old girl. I think my favorite would have to be Flurry Heart. Now, before you get out the pitchforks and torches, oh wait, that's the whole point of the video, let me explain myself. I used to be a hater of Flurry Heart, but then I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. Well, actually, I rewatched that season 7 episode where Twilight Sparkle babysits Flurry while I was down in Florida, and it was just a really wholesome episode, so now I like Flurry Heart. But her mother, Cadence, is truly the worst Alicorn princess. The reason for this is because back in 7th grade, there was this girl named Cadence who was my lab partner for this cooking class I was in. I'm pretty sure I had a crush on her at the time, but then she left for a while, and when she came back, she turned into a real jerk. I actually think I asked her at one point if she was related to Cadence the pony. My tip to all of you watching this is if you're trying to rizz up a girl, don't talk about My Little Pony. Wait until you know them a little bit better to tell them that, or even better, don't tell them it at all and burn all your pony paraphernalia. You're welcome for the free dating advice, by the way. So yeah, that's why I don't like the pony Cadence, even though she has a terrific singing voice and I wish she would have gotten more songs. And if I'm being brutally honest, she can do better than Shining Armor. Like, I mean, I get that he's the captain of the Canterlot Guard and he's jacked, but he's an absolute numbskull at times. And besides, Twilight and Shining Armor is such a better ship. Even though they're related, it'll be okay. We'll get back to ships later. Anyways, let's talk about Generation 5 since that's a big melting pot right now with all the drama surrounding it. Now, I do have to say that I like Generation 5. I'm not saying it's better than Gen 4, but some days I'll get into it and other days I'll be into Friendship is Magic. Additionally, 3D ponies are much better for clopping. Oops, did I say that out loud? Yeah, I like the New Generation movie. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't care what you say about the dang story or whatever. The songs go hard and the animation is amazing. I've kind of found that I'm sort of a dumb viewer. I don't go complain about the story or characters. I'm no writer after all, but I just enjoy life for what it is. Speaking of Gen 5, both of Sunny Star Scout's voice actresses are really hot, but Jenna Warren mogs Vanessa Hudgens any day. Haha. Hot takes, get it? Now, I also like Make Your Mark. I'll admit that it isn't perfect, but I really like Chapter 4 with the whole Misty arc. I remember when it first came out, it had me like off balance for a couple days because it was just so good. I know there are some people that are disappointed that Make Your Mark ended, and frankly, I am too, but I think it's best it ended when it did. I think it did make its mark after all, but I can't say I care for Tell Your Tale at all. It's too fast paced and in your face. I watched most of season 1, but then I just kind of stopped. I've seen a couple episodes of season 2, like the last episode and the one with Sunny Star Scout's mom. Yeah, I just gave away spoilers, but it's been out for a while, so that's on you. Why haven't you seen it yet? I do like Wildmane's though, and I will defend it until the day I die. The best Wildmane's character would have to be Finley. I mean, she really likes the number pi. But let's be real, Euler's number E, which is equivalent to about 2.7182818459045, is the greatest number of all time. I mean, the derivative of e to the power of x is e to the power of x. How cool is that? Anyways, sorry about the tangent. Oh, speaking of trigonometry, the best trig function is cosine because it starts with the letter C, and I'm Clopper Croix. So let's talk about the merchandise from Generation 5 now. In my opinion, the Generation 5 merch is lacking in comparison to Generation 4 merch. Granted, the merch for Friendship is Magic was pretty inaccurate, and it wasn't perfect, but at least there was merch for Generation 4. Most store shelves were usually empty, and it was the same stuff usually. Come on, Hasbro, you're supposed to be a toy company. The show is just supposed to be a commercial after all. I mean, there was some good Generation 5 merch. I got this sick castle and some pony juice toppers. The pony juice was actually really good though. Okay, on to human ponies now. Yes, we're talking about Equestria Girls. Once again, I'm an absolute Hasbro stan, so I like Equestria Girls. My favorite from best to worst would have to be Equestria Girls, Legend of Everfree, Friendship Games, then Rainbow Rocks. The first Equestria Girls is just crazy nostalgic, and Legend of Everfree has great songs, and I just like the setting of the whole thing. I also consider Equestria Girls to be canon because Sunset showed up in the last episode. You don't know how happy that made me. I think Equestria Girls is better because they're actually humans and I'm not attracted to cartoon ponies.
Says the one that made a My Little Pony Smash Your Pass tier list.
Oh, shut up, Kevin! One of the reasons I like Equestria Girls is because there's a mirror. Oh, mom, you're staring back at me. Oh. But something that I've noticed is that there is a disconnect between the mainstream pony community and the Equestria Girls community. It's like, you like humans, not ponies, so we reject you. But there's some people like Zap that make these crazy PMVs about Equestria Girls, and they're really good. Speaking of PMVs, I do have to say that having a hub logo, Discovery Kids, or Let Upita watermark makes any PMV so much better. So who is the best My Little Pony YouTuber? Well, I'd be biased if I said myself, so my second choice is Brony Francois. Sorry to all my other pony YouTuber friends out there. Oh wait, I forgot, I don't have any friends. Now let's talk about seasons of Friendship is Magic. My favorite season would probably have to be season 4. I know some people think that this is where the show starts to go downhill, and I will destroy you. This season came out when my cousins first got me into ponies. Thanks a lot, guys. You got me making YouTube videos about My Little Pony. Are you happy now? Honestly, season 4 is just amazing. I mean, we got this crazy anime type battle with the literal devil. We got Weird Al, and we got power ponies. However, I don't really care for the episode about bats. It's creepy and weird, and I just don't like it. Visual Studio Code is funner than Microsoft Visual Studio. Seriously, who wrote this script? Really, Visual Studio Code is better for just editing a file quickly, and Microsoft Visual Studio is better for larger projects. But back to Friendship is Magic seasons. I don't have a particular season that I dislike, but if I had to pick one, it would probably be season 8. I don't really remember much of it, and nothing significant seemed to happen. It kind of felt like it had lost its original charm that made it so special. And that's not because they just go and like start a school. I actually like how the characters grow throughout the show. For example, Twilight starts out as the student, and then she's teaching Starlight and starting her own school. I guess it goes to show that even though we grow up, we can still look to our friends for guidance. That would be nice if I actually had friends. So one hot take / conspiracy theory that I have is that COVID-19 wasn't created by scientists testing on bats or something, but instead it was like the Order 66 used to kill off the bronies created by Hasbro before Generation 5. I refuse to elaborate on that further. Another hot take I have is that Chancellor Neighsayer was right in the first 2 episodes of season 8. So if you need a quick refresher, Twilight Sparkle got a big boner and was like, let's go start a school for a bunch of different species. But to start a school, she needed approval from the EEA, or the Equestria Education Association. This dude, Chancellor Neighsayer, was like, no, I'm racist and you can't start a non-pony school. In the end, they learn a lesson about like not being racist, but I believe that Neighsayer was actually right. His fears were just misplaced though. This goes into the complex roots and foundations of My Little Pony, but simply, the show has a very cyclical nature. There will always be someone / some pony who rejects friendship and indulges in evil because the primary primary flaw of sapience is having the autonomy to make your own decisions. Instead of being concerned about the other species, he should have been concerned about the symbiosis between all three pony types, since they are inherently racist. Because think about it, in the beginning, they were all enemies, and in between the time of Friendship is Magic and A New Generation, they all became enemies again and the magic died. I also think that My Little Pony should have guns, because I like guns. I actually used to be a competitive sharpshooter, and now I make YouTube videos about My Little Pony for a channel called Croix. I mean, think about how much cooler it would be if they did have guns. There are a couple flaws with this. Unfortunately, they don't have fingers to load the ammo or pull the trigger, but this doesn't stop them from using phones. However, in some fan animations, unicorns use magic to operate guns, which reinforces the theory that unicorns are the superior race. But really, the main reason that My Little Pony doesn't have guns is because it's technically a kids show. But is it anymore? I think that Generation 4 started out for kids, but then they realized they had an older audience, so they started to introduce some more complex themes. I remember that my cousins that got me into the show got out of it because it got too weird. But nowadays, little girls are just into vanities, skincare, drunk elephants, Sephora, TikTok, Stanley's, bubble headbands, pink palm puff, and bubble skincare, according to my 9-year-old sister. So that leaves ponies just to basement dwellers such as myself. So yeah, I don't think My Little Pony is exclusively for little girls, but at the end of the day, the clean version of Scream and Shout by Will.i.am is better than the uncensored version. I think it's because it sounds more techno, and the cuss words feel so out of place, like they had to add cuss words so awkward teenagers feel like it's okay for them to listen to it. Should I get a 90-degree haircut like Will.i.am? Okay, now it's time to defend the My Little Pony movie from 2017 for a bit. I know this movie is valid because they had it at Menards, and I love Menards. It's by far the best hardware store. I was at 3 hardware stores today: Menards, Lowe's, and Home Depot. I guess that just makes me really manly. The Pony movie also acted as a totem of undying to revive the Brony fandom around this time period. And also, we got a pony song from Sia, and Sia got that Sigma Ohio Riz level 10 skibbity giat. Sorry, I've been drinking too many Grimace shakes and doom scrolling too much lately. We also got those Storm dudes, and they're really cool. Once again, they're evil, and I'm in love with bad things. The only thing that I don't care for about the My Little Pony movie is that it doesn't have my girl Starlight Glimmer in it. And don't get me started on Secrets of Starlight, because I thought it was going to be about our favorite lilac colored horse, and instead it's some wacky cat thing just killing the vibe for these chill ponies. Okay, let's talk about ships now, because I'm into ships. One of my favorite ships would have to be Spike and Rarity. Yeah, it's stupid that they're different species, but it's funny. I also ship Twilight Sparkle with Mordecai. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? I also ship Twilight and Flash Sentry because it's funny how much of a simp he is for a girl, even though he knows she's a pony. What are you looking at me for? I hate people that think you should watch the Star Wars movies in order that they came out. It goes in chronological order. Is there something wrong with your brain? You are actually the scum of the earth, and you should consider never showing your face in public again. I actually like the season 3 finale. We got the emo Twilight Sparkle song, and we got to see Pony Heaven. There are some people that absolutely hate the season 3 finale so much they don't think that everything after it is canon. Personally, I think you guys should grow up and get a life, because it only starts to get good after this point. The best Wild Kratts character is Jimmy. Well, that's all I got for today, and we didn't get off track at all. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to argue with me about my opinions on anything I said, feel free to join my Discord server. You can also join both of my Minecraft servers because they're really fun. Okay, well, it's been real, but until next time, I will see you on the other side, and happy clopping.